Hello everybody. We're coming to the end of the Indeavour season. We began this mid-June and we finished this week. So the last part that we're doing is the loop stern, and this is the part from here to here. And this has presented the most difficulty for me because this part, the upper part of the stern, changes an angle and comes down to here. And that was a hard one to figure out, so what I had to do for the frames, the two frames on each side of the stern post, was set up the battens and literally shape the stern by pushing the battens against the frames that are forward and to a point where the batten and a line formed itself on the frame. So I fitted that against the stern post and I inserted it here up against the upper part of the loop transom. And then I put these planks on. These planks are about 1 1/4 inch thick. They're of uneven texture, so I left that as it is. It tends to give the pit saw look to the whole boat. But you probably notice I put them on with screws, and what we'll do eventually is to replace these screws with small dowels, and that's how it'll be attached. The reason I put them on with screws is because they have to come off again. The spruce that we got over here, the live edge wood, is wet, and so I decided to dry them on the boat. In that way, when they dry out, I could back off the screws and push them closer together. This part here will be corked the traditional way. That would be with hemp, fiber, oak. So each one of these seams will be filled. But we got about another couple of weeks to go with that for it to dry out properly. And that's what we'll do. Take it all off, put it back together. You can see that it's fairly raggedy on the edge right here. Some are cut square, some will have a little bit of shape. But what I had to do with all of that, again using the battens, is to determine the bevel of each one of these and then fit them snugly. And that will conclude that. We also have a batten or two to be fitted, and that would be it for the Indeavour for this season. So the work that we did all summer is from Robert Halliday's model. He worked from John Guy's journal and letters and found evidence of what this boat could possibly look like. And it's presented a number of really intriguing issues to me as a builder. In particular, this stern, which I've never done before, and also the bow with its wonderful big round bow. I find that bow will be, next summer, if we're planking it, that's where the difficulty will begin. The frames have been just not that hard to do. Just fill them out perpendicular to the backbone. But next year when we start bending wood around the hull, which is what the boat builder's trade is forcing wood to take shape. That's when the difficulty will begin. But as you can see, we just have a few more, as I said, battens to do. This part will be trimmed out and will look snug, and that will conclude this year's work with the Indeavour.